Folks, there are new requirements that Americans have to meet to be eligible to receive a new $7,200 stimulus check next year from the federal government. This is your fourth stimulus check update, everybody, and I'll be sharing with you what the new requirements are for this next round of stimulus checks. So you want to be sure to stay until the end of this video. Here's the good news, folks, about the Democrats' compromise on the $1.75 trillion spending plan, the outline for which was released on Thursday.
Kind of an amazing day, I have to say that. We got a framework from the president. The Progressive Caucus then endorsed that framework, which meant that our 96-member caucus agreed that that framework in principle was something that we could enthusiastically support. We were able to send the president off to Europe with that endorsement. And then, Rachel, we got the text. We got the text, which is what I said we needed. And guess what? When you put those demands forward, actually, you can make stuff happen. And so we got the text for the bill. It is 1,400 pages. We're going through it right now. And our caucus, as you know, already agreed that we would vote on the infrastructure bill if we had the Build Back Better Act and the text of the Build Back Better Act, that the two bills would move together. And Rachel, I feel like we are very close. But the most important thing is this. 3 weeks ago, when I was on your show, we did not have a bill that had 50 senators.
The latest child tax credit we have is that the spending bill framework includes an expanded version of the credit for one more year. That means in addition to the monthly stimulus checks next year, families will get the second half of their 2021 child tax credit at tax time when they file their federal income tax return. So in a little over 2 weeks, the fifth of 6 child tax credits in the currently approved series of payments will go out.
A couple of hundred years ago when I was mayor of Burlington, one of the first things we did is we brought parents together. That's what we did. And we said, what do you think we should be doing in the city of Burlington for the kids? After school programs, child care programs, teenage programs, and we did it. And it was true then, and it is true today. If we want our kids to be healthy, happy, well-educated, able to go out in the world and be productive, that's what we have to do for them. And I am very happy that in the last year, we have begun to make some significant progress, I think, in addressing the needs of our kids. And as a result of the American Rescue Plan, we were able to bring in this state $71 million over a 3-year period for summer programs and for after-school programs. And as the governor indicated and Holly mentioned, they have had a real impact in allowing thousands of young people to enjoy their summers, to work, to play. Hundreds of new jobs were created for the kids, which is very, very important. So I think the message of today is not complicated, is that for kids, school may end at 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon, but it is important that they still have an opportunity to be in safe, constructive environments, not only for the kids, but for their parents as well. I have never understood.
November 15th scheduled check is the first payment, as the 6th and final check are currently set for December 15th. So the 6 checks that recipient families get this year add up to half of their full year payment. The other half comes in the form of a tax credit in 2022. Families get that second half when they file their taxes next year. Also, President Biden had wanted to extend this tax credit permanently, if not, at least cement a multi-year extension. So folks, millions of American families will get a check for several $100s from the federal government each month. That's in a huge expansion of the social safety net. And that's great news, folks, because I believe that President Biden should do more in helping out the American people, especially as the country is still reopening. There should be more stimulus payments approved, everybody. And if you guys believe that's true, then leave a like on this video. And breaking news about the Social Security benefits, well, the Social Security Administration recently announced that due to this year's high levels of inflation, it will be raising Social Security payments by 5.9% in 2022. That is the highest increase in nearly 40 years. And a new bill introduced in Congress could increase those payments even further. And while on the campaign trail, Biden promised to look at the Social Security program, which is set to run out of money by 2034. So the lack of funds would also result in a 20% drop in benefits. Among some of the points in Biden's proposal was the suggestion to make the payments there at least at least 125% of the national poverty level to retirees. Biden also campaigned on raising the Social Security income tax threshold to a maximum of $400,000, which would generate an additional $700 billion in revenue over to 10 years. If passed, Larson's bill could just do that. House Ways and Means John Larson, who is one of the heads of Social Security, said the bill is expanded. So the bill said that the bill is intended to expand Social Security benefits and prevent the program from running out of funds. And everybody, it would also increase payments by about 2% for the average beneficiary. The legislation currently has nearly 200 co-sponsors and has been endorsed by more than 100 advocacy groups. The Social Security Subcommittee Chairman, also said that Social Security 2100 will expand benefits and strengthen Social Security. The crisis has only underscored what we already know has exacerbated systemic inequities. So folks, it's a good idea for President Biden to increase the Social Security benefits. It is definitely a must. And if President Biden increases the benefits, what do you guys think of him? Do you believe that he's doing a good job so far in helping out the American people? And do you believe that he should send out more stimulus payments before the end of the year?
But I'm glad that we were able to get hearing aids, which will be have a real impact on millions of older people in America. But I think we've got to move forward to dental, as well as eyeglasses as well, and the cost of prescription drugs. Well, it is really outrageous that year after year, members of Congress talk about the high cost of prescription drugs, and yet year after year we are not able to do anything about it. So that's the other issue.
Do you think the House should pass?
Do you need from Senator's Manchin and Sinema?
I don't need anything. They need, they are going to have to, the members of the House, in my view, are going to have an insurance. What we have said is, all of you know, from day one, that both of these bills are linked. I support the infrastructure bill, but I want to see a strong Build Back Better bill as well, and they're linked together. So what you don't want to see is the infrastructure bill passed and then not have the kind of Build Back Better bill that we need, and that's why you need 50 members on board before there should be a vote, in my view, in the House.
Speaker Pelosi wants to hold that vote tonight. So will members of the House have that assurance?
I can't answer that. I honestly don't know.
So you're not on board with this framework as it's now drafted?
I want to see it.
Language.
I want to see it improved. And again, I think it's important to state that if you look at what's in this bill, we are doing in this bill what has not been done in many, many decades in protecting the needs of working families, the children, our environment.
For 1 minute. Thank you, Madam Speaker. I rise today to address the Heat Your Home tax that Democrats are adding to the partisan reconciliation package during our country's crippling economic crisis. Americans are paying the most for a gallon of gas in 7 years, and now the federal government is warning Americans that their home heating bills could cost